different directions, and so we've got to shut off one and focus on the other. Give your kids attention. Play with them. Teach them. Daddies, teach them who you are. I worked with a preacher one time years ago who was a hunter. He loved to bow hunt. He had 2 girls, and guess what he did with his 2 girls? I don't know if he played dolls with them or not. Maybe he did, but you know what he did do with his girls? He took them hunting with him. That's what he loved to do. That's who he was. And he spent quality time with his kids. The C is closeness. Be close to your children. I don't mean physically close. I mean emotionally close. You need to know your children's favorite colors, yes, your children's favorite foods and stuff like that, yes, but you need to know them better than that. That's superficial. And in order to have closeness with your children, you've got to spend time with them. You've got to do things with them. And you can't be closed to them emotionally, and you can't be harsh with them. You've got to let them talk. You've got to ask them questions. You've got to learn who they are. Be close to them. Calvin's dad is grilling. He says, Dad, are the coals hot? His dad says, yes, they're very hot. I'm just about to put the hamburgers on them. Calvin says, before you do, could you toss in a can of lighter fluid and make a giant fireball? We may not be able to do everything our children want to do. But our children, if they see who we are, they won't believe that we're the most boring people in the world. They'll see what we're passionate about and we can share it with them. Now, we don't need to make them be who we want them to be. We do need to do things that they want to do. But they're just like when we got married. When you get married, you might quit doing things that you once did, and your wife might quit doing things that she once did. You might continue doing some of those things, but then you mesh and you start doing things together but that you both enjoy doing. Parenting is the same way. There are things that I might enjoy doing as a dad that I really can't do with children. There's some things I might continue doing, but then there's things that I've developed interest in because my kids' interest and my interest mesh. And when you do that, you grow close. And when you grow close, even if you do wind up in a nursing home, your children still visit you and they still take care of you. And then the T, of course, is teaching. And kids need to be taught. Calvin, how did you break this dish? I was carrying too much and it dropped. Your problem is you've got no common sense. Calvin says, I've got plenty of common sense. I just choose to ignore it. Rachel probably thinks that about me sometimes. Where's your head? We've got to teach. We've got to teach our children everything. But the most important thing we need to teach them is God's Word. In Luke chapter 2, Jesus is 12 years old. Jesus is at that age where he's really having to learn how to control his behavior. See, I'm learning firsthand the stages children go through. And this is the age of 12 years old where they're really having to learn how to control their behavior and how to respond to mom and dad. This is the occasion where Jesus was in the temple and his mom says, why have you treated us this way? Did you not know that me and your daddy were looking for you with great sorrow in our heart? And Jesus said, did you not know that I needed to be about my Father's business? He was speaking the truth, and I'm sure he did it in a kind and loving way, but he's 12 years old. And he's still got to learn. And he's still got to be under mom and dad's influence, mom and dad's guidance. And so Luke, the historian, says that Jesus went home with them to Nazareth, and he was submissive to them. And his mother treasured up all these things in her heart, and Jesus increased in wisdom and stature and in favor with God and man. He did that because mom and daddy taught him. Mom and daddy were present in their lives, and they were close to him, and they gave him their attention, but they taught him God's Word. That's how Jesus grew in wisdom. And that's how our children will grow in wisdom. And that's